Yo, Hendo here with Average Dude Softball. Today we're bringing you the 220 APG Genesis, the Andy Purcell, and we're gonna bring Headbanger exclusive 240 Genesis. So the goal here is we've had a lot of people tell us basically that they feel like the 240 is just a repaint of these 220s, have same performance, things like that. So we're here to test it out and find out. This is gonna be, for anyone who hasn't swung it, 0.75 end load. We do have a 27-ounce model here. This one is still passing compression at the 220 realm, so we're at about 225 when we tested it here. This one's gonna be sitting right at about 250, so again, passing for the 240 portion. This is gonna be your 0.5 end load. They both should have roughly the same kind of stiffer type handle. So we're gonna get out here, get about 25 to 30 swings on each. Since they're already broken in, we're not here for that portion. We're here purely for comparison purposes. Once we're done at the field, we'll go back to the garage. We'll do our normal velo test, see kind of what the difference is between the two of them. Real excited to give these a try. This again was probably my favorite 220 of any of them prior to the ban. And this is one of my favorite 240s at this point. So real excited to get both these out there for you. Today, we're at kind of a new field here. We got Oregon Mountain High School out here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. It's about 75, 80 degrees here. Again, end of October, New Mexico. I don't know where our cold weather is. Still hot, so we're not expecting to have any durability issues with these. We'll be swinging all Pro M's, Classic M's. That's it. Side-by-side comparison, see kind of what we think. And then like we said, we'll get back to the garage, get you those final thoughts. So let's get it. Oh, I mean, we're talking one swing in and I already remember why this was my favorite 220 bat. If you never swung one of these, if you never swung one of these 220 Genesis, anyone who said it's the exact same as the 240, I don't buy it. We're gonna compare it here in a second, but you put a little lift on it and that ball just sailed. I mean, the exit velocity on it, you don't need much launch angle at all. Gone. Wow. That was a shot, yeah. Oh, that ball smashed, bro. But it's getting there so easy. Yeah. Yeah, zero lift, line drive off that fence.
Oh, there it is. God, it's not gonna catch that one either. We
just cleared the 365 part of the fence by who knows how far, but I'll measure it later. Past the rock quarry, past the first couple mounds of rocks. We'll get the 240 out here, but there's a reason the 220s were banned, and this might be the reason why. All right, let's get the 240 out there and see how it compares. I'll tell you right now, the sound for sure won't compare, but let's check performance. It's about all we care about. Knuckleball. So, 3 swings in after the comparison, I mean, immediate feedback. Definitely a different sound, but it might be jumping just as well. I just think maybe the sound is what throws you off and makes it seem like it's not, but that last one, absolute line drive straight over 340 part of our fence plus rock quarry. So again, we'll give you a measurement on that rock quarry, but maybe not so far off in performance as I might have thought. Let's say this one's probably just as forgiving as the 220 though. Now you get a little more power with the 220 on the higher end, lower end of the barrel, but it's still forgiving enough that it's gonna go for softball purpose on 300, even 315 foot fields. Yeah, it's effortless to get good exit velo though. Ball just keeps carrying off these things. To get immediate side by side, let's just throw about 5 each on both of them, and I'll give you my final thoughts with them. Let's start back with the 220 for 5 swings. Yeah, effortless. Lazy velo test will be interesting. Absolutely jumping.
Yep. Oh.
Short hop, gap. All right, let's get this one more. We'll switch over and see what we think. A little bit of a miss, landed deep in the gap, 360 gap, or 370 gap, I'll have to measure it again. Real quick, last swings on this. We'll give you final thoughts there. Honestly, I think with about the same amount of effort between both of them, the ball's getting realistically to the same spot. Yeah, ball's cooking off this barrel. Last one. Not a lot of launch angle, but yeah, so again, between these two, I think the performance is honestly pretty close to identical, which really shocked me. Much better sound, like that wood baseball. When you catch it, it really gives you that, yeah, I know I caught that sweet spot. But all in all, a little bit of ting here, which you're probably aware of, you swung 240 Genesis, but performance is dangerously close. We'll get it back, we'll velo test, see what we got, but I'm willing to bet we're not far off on the speeds between these two.
106 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour. 102 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour. 102 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour. 107 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour. 103 miles per hour. 108 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour. 108 miles per hour.
Just out of curiosity, let's go ahead and test the 220 APG and our Vice now that we're swings and velo test complete. I just kind of want to see where these things are sitting at based on what we saw performance-wise. And that'll help us kind of get those final thoughts pretty accurate there as well. Dial the APG up to 0. And just slightly over 220. So passing for what matters for a 220 stamp. Obviously for a sum of people, or like if you're like me, you can only play with 240s at this point. But passing for that one, let's see where our Vice is. This is obviously the 240 model, so we'd like to see it still passing. This one has around 300 swings. That APG was somewhere, I don't know, I think around 500 swings, just FYI. Okay, so to 0. And basically right on 250. So each one was just slightly above their passing rating, which is nice to see. We'll talk a little bit more about both of them in the final thoughts. All right, we're field swing, velo test, and compression test complete here with the Andy Purcell 220 Genesis and our Headbanger exclusive Genesis Vice 240 model. And all in all, I'm honestly pretty surprised at how close these two performed. Some of the biggest differences I saw with them is there's definitely a sound difference, and I know a lot of people have talked about not liking the sound on the 240 Genesis. When you put them side by side, you can definitely kind of hear those differences. Again, this 220 APG was probably my favorite 220 model out there. And again, it reminded me why today, as we were swinging this, it's got a huge sweet spot, super forgiving. For a one piece, you definitely don't feel the mishits on the hands as bad as some of those older one pieces back in the day. And again, as you saw at the velo test, the ball actually jumps off this thing. It averaged somewhere near 105. I'll have to go back, take a look at what the actual average was, but it was up there with one, I believe, topping out at 108. But with that being said, testing right at 220-ish, just above 220, the Vice Genesis honestly kept up with it, especially for a 240. This one was testing at 250, so we've got about a difference of 30 PSI there. However, velo test, Wasn't quite obviously at the 108, 105 in that range, but it was still triple digits the entire time. So if you're gonna give me a 240, something that's legal, and I'm able to get between 101 and 105 with it compared to 108, 105, I'm definitely gonna take it. Can't complain about that. And then honestly, for the field swings, I felt like the ball was carrying just as well with both of them. There might have been a few that really caught the sweet spot on the APG that definitely outperformed the Vice. However, all in all, I would have had zero issues with either bat being kind of my game route there, swinging it. Between both guys we swung with, it was kind of the same thing. Everyone absolutely preferred the sound to the APG, which I agree with. Performance-wise, though, they were honestly pretty close. And for me, I prefer heavier end loads, so I think the 0.75 end load in the APG, you can definitely feel a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to some of the other one pieces they're coming out with. I know the cotton candy, or sorry, the bubble gum just dropped recently, which is a power load. I believe there's going to be some other one-piece models coming out before too long as well, so keep your eyes peeled for those. But all in all, just a video we wanted to get out there, kind of that 220, 240 comparison. Had a lot of people asking about it, with this being the first 240 Genesis one-piece, and this being the last 220 one-piece from Louisville. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. You got some good feedback there. If you decide you want to pick one of these up, we're sold out over at Headbanger, so you're going to have to kind of look around and go for third-party there. However, I would imagine that most of Louisville's tech is going to be pretty much the same with just different end loads. So if you still see the bubblegum in stock at Louisville or Headbanger Sports, just go over to Headbanger, use code ADS to save, or go over to Slugger Slow-Pitch and use code ADS35. Both will allow you to save on that bubblegum bat. And then, like I was talking about a little bit earlier, keep your eyes peeled for additional one pieces and additional Louisville Slugger drops. They've got some big things upcoming towards the end of this year, early part of next year. And again, you'll see Headbanger Sports and Slugger Slow-Pitch both carrying those. If there's anything else you want to pick up, you saw whether it's in this video, previous videos, whatever it might be, just head down into the description. We've got plenty of links down there for you with discount codes to help you save as much money as possible. If you just want some help ordering, suggestions, all that kind of stuff, hop over to Average Dude Slow-Pitch, use the contact us page. You can email us, text us, call us even if you want, or head over to any of the socials, Instagram, X, also now no longer Twitter, Threads, Facebook, all that kind of fun stuff. You can get a hold of us pretty much anywhere and we'll get back to you. We do our best to reply to all the comments as well. It might take us a day or two depending on what's going on, but if you comment down there that you need help as well, we'll get a hold of you and give you the best way to get a hold of us. So all in all, again, we appreciate you checking out the video. Have a great day.